So I got to change the title because it really is a DS2 point. It's StarVision now. Okay. And I got to change the camera setup. I got to change black level. Okay. Gamma. Let's see, that's 130 zoom right now. Let me tweak focus a little. Okay. Okay, and I've got to change the exposure. Yeah, what I like about the StarVision is the fact that it has an inverse function. I wish the other cameras had the same function. So you can quickly just click a button and then change positive to negative. Let me go back to 8 seconds where I was. 7, that's 7 milliseconds, oh, almost 8 milliseconds. It does, it shows different features. Let me see if I can pull up the detail in the eruption in that bright spot near the limb on the edge. There it is. I'm trying to bring it out. Bit better. I'm going to change exposure rather than changing gain. So that's the negative or inverse view of the feature coming out of that sunspot. Trying to get all of the. See what it does if I do a white balance. White balance. That's the white balance. Now lower the. And bring it back down to surface. I like the color before I did a white balance. I find it too red now. Nope, that messed it up. I'm getting it back where it was. There's some nice detail around those sunspots. Makes them still tweaking green. Let me tweak blue. Very interesting. Inverse. With the inverse, then you got to go back and you got to change the exposure. I think it's too blue. There's a lot of stuff going on in that sunspot area. That's 150 zoom right there. Let me see if I can rotate the dome. Getting close. That was only about half aperture. Okay, that's better. Hi, Mark. Glad to see you could drop in. I gotta change the title on this because I'm now using the and I took the focal reducer out. Okay, so there's no focal reducer being used right now. I'm at F6. Let me go back to the positive. And then I'll have to change exposure. That bright spot at the bottom at 7 o'clock is where all of the activity is going on right now. That spot's just moving on, I think, onto the limb. See if I can tweak focus. It's getting lower in the atmospheres. Okay. What happens? Can I do a... I'm going to do a mean stack of 2. How about 3? See if it'll stop the wobble. Yeah. It's not wobbling nearly as much with the mean stack of 2 or 3. Okay, I could zoom in now to go to 200. I also posted on the solar activity page that I'd be broadcasting. The image looks stretched. Let me get the ratio. Let's see. Oh. Maybe I should go to... That looks better. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was just up on the roof of the observatory putting on the shutter latch release mechanism. I think I got that adjusted right. Slowly but surely getting the chain drive going. That was the pressure tuner just kicked the primary to back to 12.6. Let me see what happens when I drop the primary a half a psi. So I lowered the primary to 12. See if I lower the secondary to 14.5. Starting to get warm here. It says it's 86 in this observatory. Of course, that's the west-facing wall. So let's see what happens when I move. What's on the other end? South? No, that's the wrong way. There was some nice filaments here. There they are. But the main feature is this stuff. Wrong direction. Oh, son of a gun. And the star of the show is over here. That's 150 zoom. Let's see. I think the focus keeps changing. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Let's increase from 14 to about 170, and let's see what happens. Yeah, that's the eruption from that sunspot. Oh, that's a strange view. That's mono. Can't really get those prominences to jump out. Let me go back down to short exposure. Hi, Connie. How you doing? Let's go back down to 100%. Where's the histogram? I prefer it back in color mode. Let me go back to the short exposure I had earlier. There it is. Okay. And let me readjust the histogram because I messed that up. Yes, there are. Yes, I was watching posting in a solar activity forum, and that's why I posted there that I was also broadcasting. There's a lot of activity right on a limb on that bright sunspot group. Plus, there's a good bit of detail in this double sunspot group. And so I was telling other people, I really like the negative view that this camera has. It helps you see the lines, the flux. Am I still stacking? Yeah, I'm stacking 3 to help roll it out of. Yeah, I can turn it off. See, there's the live. You can see the atmosphere bouncing. It's 16C with that big chip. It's very easy to get a full field, a full disc. That camera has a sensor that's twice the size of the one in this one. This is 11 millimeters across, and the 16C, its sensor is 22 millimeters across. Let me try stacking just 2 and see what it does. A mean stack of 2. It'll slow down with the pulsing. I'll just undo it, let it just roll. Oh, with a 12-inch, okay, you're able to get a full disc with the reducer. Okay, that's great. How long were your exposures? I assume you were using like a Botter white light. Yeah, that spot on the limb, Connie, is the one that there's so much chat about on the solar activity forum. Let me see if I can go to 400 and see what it does. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in to ridiculous power. This is 400 times zoom. Okay. Yeah, 400 is a little bit too much power. I can back it up 5% at a time. That's 350. You can look at the, where's my Epic pen? I gotta get Epic pen going. Oh, God. I gotta find my mouse before I can find Epic pen. Boom. I gotta put Epic pen on the desktop. Son of a gun, all apps. E, Epic pen, pin to start. There it is, there's Epic pen, okay. There's Epic pen. Chance of thunderstorms Wednesday. We only had like 6 inches of rain this morning. Okay. I'm looking at this feature here. It's like a filament, faint filament, like a white cloud on the surface. And go over to the positive and see what it looks like. Then I'll have to change the exposure. It's funny how you change the exposure. Okay, yeah, it's a filament. This is really too much power though. Yeah, filaments end up looking like little clouds when they're in the negative view. Let me get to 300 maybe. Move that over. That's an eerie view. That really is. Maybe 275 will give a better framing. Let me see if I can tweak focus some more. You think about it, stuff on the limb is about 400,000 miles further away than the stuff that's in the center. Slight difference in focus. Right now it's 4 o'clock. Sun's getting low. Actually, it's getting low towards the pine tree. Let's see, where is it? Oh no, we still got. We have time. I'm going to stop this recording.